Poor Things. I saw this movie in theaters with my girlfriend about a week ago. About a week ago! So, yes, this movie is a tad bit late, so I do apologize, and I hope my rap rendition makes up for my tardiness. It was a theater I had never been to before, and when we walked in, I saw a ton of high school kids and immediately thought to myself, what did I just do? I will never, ever go into a new theater again. I thought it was going to be one of those theaters that all the kids go to and ruin every movie they hang out in, but actually, they were there for Mean Girls. Thank God. And it actually took me a few more days to realize it was a remake of Mean Girls. I originally thought it was a rerun of the classic. But, anyways, my foolishness out of the way. My theater was full of adults and I had a great experience. Let's get on to the review. First of all, give it up for Emma Stone. She did a great job, and she's probably going to win an Oscar for her role, and I think she should. But more than that, she took a massive risk making this film, which I respect. Poor Things is an odd movie. It's original, and it's outside the box big time. The whole movie is shot in an untraditional way. The camera films from weird angles, and the point of view is often slightly out of place. This is done to make the world seem foreign and unfamiliar, which it succeeds at. But this can probably deter the average moviegoer. For Emma Stone, an A-list actress and celebrity, committing to a movie this unfamiliar was incredibly risky and brave. But thank God she did, because the world needs more movies that don't conform to this modern traditional style, the ones that come out non-stop on a damn conveyor belt. This movie is not that. Emma Stone also does a lot of nude scenes, which I'm sure was uncomfortable, or at least I know I would be. But these scenes showcased her professionalism, and it definitely added to her character Bella. Phenomenal job. The second thing that comes to mind, without a shadow of a doubt, is the sound. The sound in this movie is a tool, and it's just as important as the visual component. The sound effects and music are absolutely essential. For example, if you took, for instance, Iron Man, an exceptional movie, and if you took the sound effects out and music out, it probably wouldn't change much. There's some cool rock and roll songs, and yes, the sound effects of all this cool technology would be disappointing to miss, but it wouldn't break the movie in half. Whereas in Poor Things, the sound effects and music have such a heavy presence that without it, the movie wouldn't be nearly as good. It's eerie, and it doesn't just complement, but completes the mood and environment. Speaking of environment and mood, the visuals on display are breathtaking. I kind of wish they lingered on some of those shots a lot longer. This fantasy dystopian version of Earth is put across to the audience so well, it seemed easily done. Some of the scenes when the characters are on a boat could be the background on someone's phone or even a goddamn picture hanging up in someone's living room. Okay, so those were the first things that came to mind. But if I dive in just a little deeper, there are some other components of this movie that are done with excellence. For example, Willem Dafoe, like always, hands in an A plus assignment. I mean, the guy's a legend. We expected that from him. Up next, Mark Ruffalo takes on what I thought was the hardest character portrayal after Emma Stone's Bella, and he does great. His character is complicated and has multiple levels. His character also goes through changes throughout this movie, and his transitions are done seamlessly. His character, Duncan, is also the funniest part in this movie. His comedic timing and voice fluctuations are on full display and have never been better. Now that we're on the subject of comedy, I thought Ruffalo's comedic performance was the standout. However, the movie has other attempts at comedy, like in the instance of Willem Dafoe's character Godwin, and Bella, who has a lot of fish out of water type jokes. These examples of comedy didn't land with me personally, or at least half of them didn't. But I must say, most of the theater did laugh at almost every joke. Direction, choreography. Like I said in the beginning, the direction of this movie is original and out of the box, but the choreography has some moments that wowed me. For example, there's a dance floor scene where there are separate events taking place and they're all in frame at the same time. And the movement is sequenced in a way that was not only entertaining to watch, but it told us what was happening without words. This is exactly what choreography should do in a movie. Now, I think I touched on everything but the story itself. Note that I'm not talking about dialogue, but the dialogue was precise and added so much flavor to the story. For example, Bella has broken English for a reason I won't get into because of spoilers, but it's a constant reminder to the audience of her situation. Her character is growing, she's alive. It's not Emma Stone, it's Bella, living, existing, and adapting to her environment. Also, how the characters around her react to her broken English gives many opportunities for the other characters to show more of their personality, and the writers take full advantage. Now, back on track, when it comes to the plot, I must say I think it's the weakest part. It's by no stretch of the imagination bad, but compared to the other elements, it's not as excellent. I guess you can only do so much within a limited runtime. But the reason I thought this was because I couldn't help but think of this movie as separate parts that come together instead of one entire comprehensive story. However, the ending does wrap it up very nicely, and it's nothing magical, but it does bring the story full circle and gives the plot some cohesiveness I thought it needed. Overall, Poor Things. It was fantastic. Every element of this movie, from screenplay to dialogue to acting to visual and sound effects, ranges from good to excellent. Nothing in this movie is bad or even average. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst movie ever and 10 being the greatest movie ever made, I say Poor Things is an 8.5. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the review, please like, comment, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.